Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rocketa podcast, where we explore endless dreams and aspirations of various people. I'm your host, Alexander Marfunin, and today we've got Tatiana. How are you, Tatiana?
I'm good, Alexander. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fantastic, Tatiana. Thank you for asking. The weather is quite cold, but it's fine. It's fine. So, Tatiana, what do you study?
Hi everyone. I'm Tatiana. I do accounting and finance at university, and I'm here from the Accounting Society.
Oh, wow. Well, perfect. Really good. Really good. And could you tell me, what is the Accounting Society? What do you do? What is the whole premises of?
So the Accounting Society here at our uni is a brand new thing. We started off this year. It's our first semester running. And it was an idea born at the start of 2024.
Uh-huh.
A random idea that came to me and one of my fellow co-founders. And, the point, so everything we do at our society is based off of our three pillars, which is academic, collaboration, and community, which is an abbreviation of accounting. So it's the common acronym that we use. So A stands for academic, C for collaboration, and C for community. In terms of academic, we're here to be, as a side resource for students doing accounting and finance and students interested in accounting and finance. So, through things like collaborative mentorship and resource sharing. And for collaboration, what we aim to do is we aim to bring in opportunities for students in accounting and finance through, collaborations with the accounting professional bodies as well as industry networks. And in terms of community in general, I think as a society, as an academic but also a social student society, we aim to create a supportive peer network for everyone interested in accounting and finance. So that's kind of, everything that we do is centered and catered towards achieving those three pillars. Yeah.
I see. So it's not purely an academic. It's also, as you said, it's social. So you ensure that everyone feels welcomed and heard. And yes, I totally get you. Do you guys do apart from, I assume, academic events, do you do perhaps any social events or something that goes outside the academic sphere?
Of course, yeah. I think for us specifically, because we are still mainly an academic society, we kind of try to cater our events to what people are doing, what they're learning. So I think most of our events will be on the academic side, but we try to put an emphasis on community and group and coming together to do these things throughout all our events. But I think, specifically more on the social side, I think that's something that we will be doing more in the future. But it's our first semester running, so we're just trying to get the vibe of what people want and what people like and maybe don't like. So I think as we move forward, there's going to be a more clear idea on what our society will look like.
Oh, so I see. At the moment, you're trying to blend these two concepts together, academic and socials.
Yes, I think.
In a sense,
it's been hard trying to kind of, put like social community stuff, especially into the academic side, because usually, it's always kind of like a me focused thing. So I think that's kind of one of the challenges. But I think, what we're trying to do is, for the academic side, we're trying to put a social and community emphasis on it. So doing things, two of the main things that we do is something called the Case Study Collective and the Peer Assisted Learning Scheme. So the first one, we basically just come together and solve case studies related to accounting, finance, economics, business, stuff like that. Something that we've already done. And then the second one is basically something that we hope to do in the future. We've not done that yet. But where we mentor first and second year students for the modules, for the subjects that we've already done. So kind of giving, offering, mentorship for something that we've personally been through and creating a collaborative community amongst different year groups. And I think that just improves the student learning experience overall. So I think, using the social side allows there to be more of a community focus in the academic side.
Well, really good, very good. And has it been successful so far? How did the events go so far?
Okay, so I think up till now we've had around 4 or 5 events, and I think, me personally, I don't know how my fellow committee members see it, but I think subconsciously we all measure the success that we've had with the turnouts just based off of all the different year groups that turn up to the events and kind of all the people that we've seen and that we've met through these societies. I think I've spoken to more people this year than I have in the past 2 years, and I think, that's the impact of the society. So it's allowed me to see and meet, people that I see every day, but I've not necessarily spoken to, and I've seen, and they've also interact with other people that show up, and I think it's been a success because we've been able to create a solid community among every single one of us that turn up every other week for events. Yeah.
Oh, really good. Oh, wow. And how many people so far do you have? Well, I know that a community doesn't necessarily have to mean hundreds and hundreds of people. It could even be as much as 10 people or even 5 people. It doesn't have to be incredibly large. So how many members have you got so far?
I don't want to give you exact figures, but I think it varies every week. So I think, some people turn up here, some people turn up there. So there's usually fluctuations in the amount of people that turn up every week. But what I've seen and what me and my fellow co-founders have seen is that we see them interact outside of the society. So, we've seen how people that, come to the society for the events, meet new people, make new friendships. We see them interacting outside. And so I think that's kind of what we've been observing. So I think in terms of like how many people you've got, we don't really, kind of emphasize on that. We look at how we look at the friendships that have been made, and we see the communities and the groups, and we've seen how all these people come together, and that honestly makes an impact, even if it's maybe just a few people sometimes, but we see how they go out and spread the word about the society and get other people to come in and join. So yeah, I think we're a really vibrant community, and I'm happy that we've been a part of that so far.
Brilliant, Tatiana, brilliant. It seems that it's going well, and hopefully it continues to grow.
Yes, yeah.
Because of course, everything starts from somewhere. A tree starts off from a single seed and eventually it turns into a big tree. So everything takes time, and eventually you're going to have an even wider community. And let me ask you, for instance, if I am a new accounting student, why would it be beneficial for me to join your society? Why would I want to join your society?
Right. I think, we've had a few people that don't do accountancy. So people, I think, who do economics, business management, law, like yourself, who have come in to join the accounting society. And that's kind of always been the question on my mind as, to why people would come in and do that. Because, I get that accounting is, usually kind of like an isolated niche kind of thing on its own. I think you have to really know why you want to do it to kind of come in and join. But I think if you already have an interest or you've heard about it and you want to learn more, then I think, coming to us, it'll help you explore your options within accounting. And, I think it goes back to our 3 pillars. So if you've got an interest in accountancy, you join our society. And this applies to people that don't do accounting and finance already at university. So, you're not doing any of the modules. You're not kind of mainly in the events and kind of in the loop of the ANF circle. But I think joining the accounting society, gives you a taste of what we do as people that study accounting and finance. So you get, you get bits like career events. We do, the learning aspects like the case study collective. So I think it allows you to experience, the things that we do in a way that's, hopefully not too pressured, especially if you don't have that much of a background. So hopefully this gives you kind of like a relaxed experience if you are interested in, pivoting to accounting and finance, basically.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, this society provides a very relaxed environment, yet it's very opportunistic. It provides you with as many and as wider opportunities as possible.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I think, I mean, there are obviously other ways to do it, but I think if we have a society where you can go to as like a main point of contact, then I think it would be easier for all of us to, navigate these opportunities as a group and see where we can take it from there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Tatiana, looking ahead, where do you see the Accounting Society in the next few years, and how do you plan to grow and expand its impact on campus and beyond?
I mean, I don't know about beyond, but I think for me at least, I think, I've got 2 years left here. So hopefully for the next 2 years that, me and my fellow co-founders are here, I think we aim to do as much as we can to fulfill those 3 pillars. So I think as long as we're able to become a valuable learning resource for our community here at Muni, as long as we're able to, provide opportunities and create opportunities more importantly for students here, and something that we're already kind of doing and that, we hope will continue is that we hope that there will be this permanent community for people interested in accounting and also finance, I guess, for years to come. So, as long as those things happen, even when we're not here anymore, then I think, that's going to be a measure of how, well the society is going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, in other words, we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I think even when I'm, not here anymore, I think when I'm gone, I hope to hear stuff about the society. And I mean, I hopefully would love to contribute even when I'm not a student anymore. So yeah, I mean, I wish all the best for the society for the future. And I hope it just lives on. Really. I hope I do.
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully it does. Yeah. I mean, there's no way of telling, but I mean, I hope that what we plan to do in the next, 2 years will inspire the next leaders of the society to hopefully let it live on.
So the next generation.
The next generation, yeah. We're inspiring the next gen, hopefully.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, honestly, the future is so unpredictable. You never know who will be the president, who will be in charge of the committee, what will be the next members. You never know. It's so unpredictable, really, isn't it? And Tatiana, I'd like to come back to the actual course of accounting and finance. What advice would you personally give to new accounting and finance students? What sort of, do you have any tips? Because of course, the course, as I understand, it is really tough and it is very quite academically challenging. So what sort of advice would you give for students entering this completely new, let's just say, zone?
Well, I've got 2 words from my personal experience, and that is start early, for sure. I mean, I say that as a joke, but I do mean it literally. I think continuous learning is definitely the key to being able to cope with the workload. So, I mean, start early take that as literally as you want, but I think, it's the journey and not the destination. So I think it's doing little bits every single day that builds up your foundation to being able to tackle the workload as a whole. So again, I think the main tip would be just kind of making sure you've got good time management, making sure that you're able to kind of balance all the different things at once. And yeah, I mean, just planning your time effectively, having a schedule, But yeah, also, I mean, if you're struggling with that, I think learning to love the subject, learning to appreciate, why we do accounting and finance is going to be the key to you having a positive experience learning accounting and finance. So I think I think I can bring that back to the society where, as a society, we hope to be one of those things that give you a positive experience, in learning accounting and finance. So hopefully we can contribute to you, being able to appreciate, this field, what it does, and also just ultimately improve your student learning experience.
Okay. So it's really just, well, as you said in the beginning, it's really just about the consistency. And if you need help, you've always got people like the community that can assist you with this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how much we can take over, people like our professors, but I think mainly what we're here to do is, create a positive vibe for you in accounting and finance, so that, you kind of basically just see the point of why we have to do all this. So yeah, I think that's our role as a society, is to kind of just be a side resource for you in any way that we can be, and in any way that we're allowed to be.
So you're essentially trying to make the new student feel as if he's not alone.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time. I mean, I think we had an accounting and finance society a few years back, but this is the first time we've had one dedicated to just accounting, and one that has kind of noticeably build up a community. So yeah, I think as a society we aim to just let students in accounting and finance, and also outside, that are interested, know that there is a group of people that share common interests and get along well, and there's a lot that you can get from kind of being a part of our community, basically.
Well, really good. And whenever you personally arrived, into the university, did you hope that there would have been an accounting society? Because you're the founder of this accounting society, but whenever you arrived into the university, there was none. So did you have hopes that there would have been?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I've noticed. I mean, I knew coming in that there wasn't one, and I think I did wish there was one from my first 2 years here. And I do remember feeling that, I do remember having the feeling that I think maybe it's time that somebody started one. But I think, like I said, this idea for the society was born earlier this year. And I think that's when I kind of realized that, okay, I think, it's time to, maybe stop wishing there was one, and actually, get together and actually make one. So I think, thankfully, I came to that realization, and, we're here today. So it's all from there.
Oh, yes. And about the actual course, what sort of, I don't know if you could say, what sort of modules do you do? What sort of things do you study within the course?
Right. Okay. As soon as you come in, you get hit with, your introduction to financial and management accounting. You have all your accounting modules and your finance modules if you're doing accounting and finance, but you also do a bunch of other things like economics, business management, and I think these are some of the things that other people that aren't doing accounting and finance that might not know, but doing economics, doing business management, all these other things are also super important to what we do as accountants, because I think, it really does go beyond the numbers. So, aside from looking at the numbers and, spending our day doing those numbers, we also have to do strategic decision making for businesses, and, those things, help us interpret those numbers, basically. So, it really does go beyond the numbers, and we have other things that we need to do, basically. So I think, I wish I could paint like a much clearer picture, but
Yes, this is.
I think what I always say mainly again is that it really does go beyond the numbers. There's a lot of businessy stuff, decision making that goes into it. So yeah, I think, if that helps kind of dispel the idea that it's mostly numbers. I mean, it is a lot of numbers, but there's a lot of, other stuff that goes into it as well.
So there's more than just numbers.
It is more than just numbers. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, especially once you go, higher, once you start kind of going further into your studies, it goes beyond, just being able to do those numbers. It also goes beyond, okay, how can you use these numbers? How can you make these numbers meaningful? How can you interpret them? Can you explain these numbers to somebody that might not understand how you made them in the first place? So, doing accounting and finance is, number one, being able to do those numbers, but also, most importantly, being able to explain them to somebody that doesn't know the numbers. So, if you're able to do both of that, then I think you're set.
So it's just about simplifying the complex data and concepts to a person that is not as well informed on this matter.
Yes.
Yeah, essentially.
Exactly. Presentation. Yeah, of being able to present those numbers in a way that, the people that need them can understand them, basically.
Okay. Well, very good. So, Tatiana, what I've learned so far, a specific highlight from what you've told me so far, is when you've talked about the consistency when it came to studying. This is something that I'm going to remember. Because this also comes in line with law, because law also requires a lot of consistency, and I feel like I can relate to that on a level. So this is something that I'm definitely going to remember. So, Tatiana, thank you very much for attending.
And thank you for having me. Yeah. As your second guest.
Oh, yes, of course. It's definitely. As second guest.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Your insights will definitely help for potential new students.
Yeah, I hope that this entices you to join us, but I also hope that, it inspires people to just, go after an idea that they have and make it a reality. I think, there comes a point where you just have to kind of stand up and say, I'm done dreaming. Let's start doing. So, yeah, I hope that inspires people to go after what they want to do. Within accounting and finance and also beyond.
So, just essentially take action.
Take action.
And go for whatever you want to do.
And go after it and have the confidence to overcome those challenges that you will, eventually face. But it's all worth it in the end. So,
in the end, yes.
Yeah.
Hard work. At the end of the tunnel, there's always light. So
it's always there, and it always pays off. Every little thing is an investment, and you will get your returns. So that's kind of a financy joke for you there. So yeah, it pays off. So whatever it is that you want to do, I think the first thing that you have to do is just start and just go for it.
Brilliant, Tatiana. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Tatiana.
And thank you for having me.
It was an absolute pleasure having you, and for you to give fresh insights into both accounting and in terms of philosophy.
Philosophy in some way, I guess, is kind of the foundation of kind of starting this whole thing. But yeah.
Right, my dear and amazing friends. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all on our next journey.